Gaming systems have been an essential part of our childhood, and the way that they have developed over time and still find their way into our lives in the present. It is fascinating to say the least. The development in the industry has been slow and steady. How do you think they have developed over the course of years, and how do they make their way into our lives? Let's figure it out. The world of retro gaming is a captivating realm that takes us back to the golden era of classic video games. With their pixelated graphics, catchy soundtracks, and simple yet addictive gameplay, retro games hold a special place in the hearts of gamers young and old. Whether you grew up playing on an Atari, Nintendo Entertainment System, or Sega Genesis, or you're just a modern gamer curious about the origins of the industry, embracing the nostalgic world of retro gaming is an experience like no other. One of the most appealing aspects of retro gaming is the simplicity and accessibility of the games themselves. Unlike modern titles that often require hours of investment to fully grasp and appreciate, retro games offer immediate gratification. Take the iconic game Pac-Man, for example. With its straightforward objective of gobbling up dots while evading ghosts, it's easy to pick up and play, making it suitable for casual gamers and beginners. The simplicity of retro games allows players to jump right in and enjoy the experience without the need for lengthy tutorials or complex controls. Another reason to embrace retro gaming is the opportunity to explore the history and evolution of the video game industry. Each console and era brought its own unique games and innovations, showcasing the creativity and technical advancements of the time. From the groundbreaking platforming of Super Mario Bros. On the NES to the immersive role-playing experience of Final Fantasy VII on the PlayStation, retro games offer a glimpse into the milestones and pivotal moments that shaped the industry we know today. It is evident that the gaming industry has boomed in the past decade. Many career opportunities have emerged, but not to forget. The media representation has increased drastically, and in the modern era of gaming, where cutting-edge graphics, immersive worlds, and complex gameplay are the norm, it's easy to forget the humble beginnings of the game console. However, the history of game consoles is a fascinating tale that spans decades of technological innovation, cultural shifts, and the evolution of interactive entertainment. From simple pixelated games to sophisticated virtual experiences, let's embark on a journey through time to explore the captivating history of game consoles. And let's take a trip through time and go back to the 1950s and 1970s to talk about the earliest pioneers in the gaming industry. The concept of electronic gaming began to take shape in the 1950s, well before the term video game console was even coined. One of the earliest examples was the cathode ray tube amusement device, created by physicist William Higginbotham in 1958. It allowed players to control a moving dot on an oscilloscope screen, resembling a primitive version of Pong. Now, let's move further and talk about the iconic golden age of arcades and home Pong, aka the late 1970s and early 1980s. As during the late 1970s and early 1980s witnessed the rise of arcade gaming culture. In 1977, Atari released the Atari 2600, which was originally known as the Video Computer System, which became a game changer. With interchangeable cartridges, players could access a variety of games on a single console. This innovation laid the foundation for the concept of a platform that could evolve with new titles. Then came the age where there was almost a crash of video games and rebirth, which was during the early 1980s and mid-1990s. As the early 1980s saw a boom in the gaming industry, with numerous companies rushing to create game consoles and games. However, oversaturation and the release of poor quality games led to what we know as the video game crash of 1983 in the modern time. This crash significantly impacted the industry, causing many companies to go bankrupt. During this time, a company that was almost a revolution in the industry emerged, and it is none other than the iconic Nintendo. The crash gave rise to Nintendo, a company that would define the industry for years to come. In 1985, Nintendo introduced the Nintendo Entertainment System, or the NES in North America, bundled with the game Super Mario Bros. This marked the beginning of the 8-bit era and the resurgence of the gaming industry. The NES's strict quality control and iconic games laid the groundwork for modern game development practices. Then came the technological advancements and console wars during the time period of the mid-1990s and the early 2000s. The 16-bit era saw the rise of the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, or the SNES, and the Sega Genesis, initiating a fierce rivalry known as the Console Wars. This competition led to innovations like faster processors, improved graphics, and the introduction of iconic franchises like Sonic the Hedgehog and The Legend of Zelda. Games like Space Invaders, Pac-Man, and Donkey Kong captivated players in arcades worldwide. Meanwhile, the introduction of dedicated home versions of Pong and other arcade games marked the first steps toward bringing gaming into the living room. The mid to late 1990s brought 3D gaming to the forefront with the Sony PlayStation and the Nintendo 64. Sony's CD-based system allowed for larger and more immersive games, while Nintendo's innovative controller paved the way for future control schemes. And then comes the modern era of gaming, as the early 2000s marked the transition to more powerful hardware and online connectivity. Sony's PlayStation 2 became one of the best-selling consoles of all time, and Microsoft entered the scene with the Xbox, introducing the concept of online gaming through Xbox Live. NVIDIA and AMD introduced graphics cards in 2020 with hardware support for real-time ray tracing, which was also a major component introduced with Microsoft and Sony's next consoles, the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5, both released in November 2020. Significant improvements in technology also furthered the ability to display highly detailed textures, allowing for photorealism in rendered video game scenes at high resolutions and high frame rates. These changes necessitated larger storage space for texture memory on the hardware and greater bandwidth between the storage memory and graphic processor. Both new consoles included specialized SSD options designed to provide high-bandwidth storage options, which had the added benefit of virtually eliminating loading times in many games, particularly those featuring in-game streaming for open-world games. Subsequent generations of consoles continued to push boundaries with high-definition graphics, motion controls, and virtual reality. The PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and eventually the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series XS showcased the industry's commitment to technological advancement and immersive gameplay. And as of the last updates on the development and advancement of the industry, the history of game consoles continues to unfold. The industry is exploring new frontiers, including cloud gaming, augmented reality, and virtual reality. Mobile gaming has also become a powerhouse, bringing gaming experiences to billions of smartphones worldwide. The history of game consoles is a testament to human ingenuity, creativity, and the power of interactive entertainment. From the humble beginnings of Pong to the photorealistic worlds of today, the journey through time showcases how gaming has evolved to become an integral part of global culture. In conclusion, the history of game consoles is a tale of innovation, competition, and the enduring passion of gamers and developers alike. As technology continues to advance, it's exciting to imagine the future landscapes of gaming that lie ahead. If you enjoyed this little throwback in time, don't forget to like this video in order to show your appreciation towards our content, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on any of our content.